Hello everybody, it is Sharon Wilson, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. I hope you are going well. It is Friday the 3rd of February. We are in February now, so the girls are going back to school. So it's been, it's good that they're back at school again. So yay! So it's been a bit of a fairly big week just getting them off to school, and my eldest has gone to a different school this year, so she's had to get to have a night, work out where she's going and catch a fair bit of public transport this week just to get to the school that she's going to, because it's a bit further away than the local high school. And our youngest started on Wednesday, so this is her third day back today. So my eldest went back on Monday. So yeah, it's been a fairly full-on week and just trying to get into the routine of normal school term life again. And so yeah, this week it's been fairly full-on trying to get back into routine, which can be a bit tricky after 6 weeks of school holidays and no real routine over those last few weeks. So it's good to be back getting back into routine and into the term and all that sort of stuff. So welcome. I'm glad you could join me today. I am going to be showing you some products from the mini catalogue again. This time it's the Queen Bee stamp set and coordinating dies. So I'm going to try and find that in my catalogue so that you can see the page and everything. Where is it? There it is, 26. Yeah, so it's a lovely set of a lovely bundle that you can purchase, and when you purchase it, you'd have to add on, it's $87.25 as a bundle, which means there's not quite that $90 to get to celebration rewards. So you just add on some adhesive, like some glue dots or some dimensionals or something, and then you've got your $90 fairly easily. But yeah, it's a lovely set that sort of didn't really jump out at me to start with, but someone's created a class, and I'm going to show you some of those projects, but I've actually changed them because I've changed the designer series paper because I didn't actually have the DSP that they had used in their class. So I've changed that, and I've created another card. Well, I've got another card in my head to pull out as well to show you. So I'm going to do that one, and if I get a chance I might do another one, but I didn't bring all my cardstock over for that one, so I'll have to change that up a fair bit too. But anyway, let's show you what we're working with today. So this is what we're working with. We're doing the Queen Bee. It's the Queen Bee stamp set and dies, which is this one. And so you've got a beautiful Queen Bee in the set. There's some lovely projects that they've created as samples as well. So they're pretty as well. So yeah, it's a lovely set that, yeah, as I said, didn't jump out at me at first, but once I started using it, I created another card for a blog hop coming up. So I'll show you that on the 14th. So I'll be early for that one. It's quite exciting. But yeah, this is the set, and it's actually a million sales achiever by Laura Milligan. So Stampin' Up!, when they have demonstrators that have reached $1 million in sales, in US sales, they get to create their stamp set in conjunction with Stampin' Up! So, and this is the stamp set from Laura Milligan. I'm assuming she's a US demonstrator. There hasn't been an Australian demonstrator that's actually got to that sales level yet. But I'm sure there's probably a couple of years down the track, and they will be. But yeah, so that's this is the stamp set. So the coordinating dies, you can't really see them as well on that picture, and so I'll show you these ones. So these are the dies, so those ones, and one more. I can't get it out. There we go. And that one. So they're the coordinating dies. So you can see that it cuts out the queen, and a little bee and some flowers and the wings and a honeycomb and everything as well, and the crown, because it's a queen, so it has to have the crown. So you've got that set. That's the die. So I hope I inspire you with these cards. The original designs, 4 of the original projects are by Erica Cerwin in the US. Pretty sure she's in the US. Don't think she's in Canada. I think she's US. And so, yeah, I'm using her designs to show you projects that she has created. And obviously, Celebration is still available and a fabulous time to join my team. So, yeah, have you got a wish list? How long's your wish list at the moment? I'm assuming it's growing quite significantly because there's so many beautiful products in there. But you can join my team. It's you spend $210 and you can get the boho blue mini machine. It's a beautiful little boho blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you get a choice of $315 worth of Stampin' Up products that you can choose from. So choose your own adventure, choose your own stamp kit, choose your own starter kit. You can also same amount but with the white mini machine. And then if you've already got the mini machine, or you don't want to get it, you can just spend $169 and you still get $315 worth of product of your choice. So it is a fabulous time. You can just go to stampinwithsharon.com.au and click join my team, and you can join. And that's you get the different perks you get is you get a Facebook page, a couple of Facebook pages that you can get access to. There's different trainings that I actually do, just team meetings, and yeah, you can come along to I've got my retreat coming along, and so yeah, it's a great time to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, and you can just be a happy shopper. You can just be a happy get your discount. You get 20% discount when you join Stampin' Up. So you can save 20% on all of your purchases. So that's a really good thing too. So, all right, here I am. I've just realised I didn't bring any scrap paper, but that's okay. I'm going to not worry about that right now. So I've got my little card kits here ready to go. There we go. So I think I'm going to start with this one here. So this is the first card that we're going to create. So it's already pre-made. I made 2 of them. So I cut out enough for 2 cards. So I've made one of them and I'll show you how to make that. So I'll just leave that one. Will it sit there okay? Actually, if I put that, no. Oh, it's not sitting well. Hang on, let's see if I can use my mouse. No, that's not going to stay either. That's not working. Oh, well. You get the, hopefully you'll understand. You'll get the idea. It's a bit shiny, but all right. So that's my little controller to tell me how I'm doing stuff. So in here I have all my little bits and pieces and my little envelope. So I've got what colour are we? We're petal pink today. This one's petal pink. Already pre-scored. It's just a standard size card base, so A5, which is what, 21 centimeters by 14.85, and then fold it in half. And I have a piece of basic white that we're just going to stick in the center. And I've just got a couple of pieces of scrap. So what we're going to start with is the viney flowery stamp first. And where did I put my stamp pads? Out of the way so they wouldn't get in my way. All right, so petal pink. So we're going to ink that one up. And we're just going to stamp that full strength. Just there. and we're going to glue this one down on the side. So I did bring my adhesives over. Do you think I can find them? I did bring them. I did bring them over. Oh dear. There it is. It's underneath. Underneath everything. So this paper that I'm using is actually a host paper that you can find in the mini. Yeah. Ooh. So in the mini catalogue, where is it? At the back usually. No, must be further back. There we go. So this is the Flowers and More designer series paper that I'm actually using instead. So Erica had used the Regency Park designer series paper for these original designs, and I've just chosen to use the Flowers and More because I didn't have the Regency. So I utilised what I had. I thought I'll use what I've got, substitute out, and we'll see how they look. And I'm quite happy with how they've worked out. They're very different. It changes the look of the card quite significantly when you change the designer series paper as much as I have. But I think it's, yeah, they still work really well. So I'm just going to use dimensionals just to pop it up. And because I've done all my stamping on the card base, this card front, so I can just stick that down now. Line it up as best you can. And then I've got my scrap piece, and what I'm going to do for this one is I'm actually going to pull out my adhesive sheets. Oh, I can't get it out. I'm just going to get my adhesive sheet out because I'm going to chop that down. Oh, there's two. And where's the die? There we go. So I can do it on that one. Now, before I started this live, I was prepping another project, and I I put my adhesive sheet down, and that was all good. And then I went to cut it, and I cut it, and that was fine. And then when I went to take it off, I realised that I actually cut on the wrong side. I'd actually cut that way, and so the adhesive was on top, but I actually want to cut that way. So just as a bit of a tip, don't do what I do. Try and ensure that you've got the adhesive sheet on the correct side and you're cutting on the correct side so that you don't make a bit of a mistake. So I'm just going to chop this one out, roll this through. So I don't know whether you can see on that one. No, there. I've actually, yeah, the adhesive sheet isn't quite all the way there, but it's, yeah. So I'm trying to work out what I can use that for now. I was thinking maybe I could put some gold leaf foil on it or something. That might work. But that's for another day, not for today. And so I've got my little vine. Just try and pull that one out carefully. Because I've got the adhesive sheet on the back, it just makes it a tiny bit thicker. So then I just want to peel the backing paper off that. Keeping the vine intact. And I'm just going to lay that over the top. Like that. And then I've got my Balmy Blue. And I have my Queen Bee. going to stamp her. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Where is that? I'm missing my vellum leaves. I do have some more vellum leaves, but I think I have a spare pair in this one. I do. There you go. So I'll just trim this one out using my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So just line this one up. And I'm just going to run that through. And so I've got my little bee, and just grab my dimensionals and a pair of scissors just to use some of the edges here. And you can actually bend the wings up a tiny bit. Now I've got a pair of some vellum leaves. Sorry, wings. That's a wing. And I'm just going to get my glue dots out and put that on the back. And I'm just going to line them up and stick them on there. And so the glue dot will hold it in place. And then I've also got this tiny weeny little mini heart out of gold foil. And I'm just going to put a glue dot in the center of the wings again. And I'm going to put the heart on top. Oops. Just like that. And stick my queen down, and then the embellishments, which I did have. What have I got? These ones. And my take your pick tool. I think I just leave it at 3. I'd put 5 on the original one. And just stick down the insert. And so there you've got your first card. Now you can always make the envelope pretty. You can always pretty up the envelope before you send it. But I was listening to someone made a comment the other day and said that she was told that the envelopes, when envelopes are decorated, they usually get looked at more closely because obviously something's more likely to be inside it. But I don't know how accurate that is, but maybe it is. All right, so I'm going to do another card. This is the next one. So this one's actually embossing as well. So it's going to get a little loud. So you'll need to bear with me on this one. So I've got a piece of Highland Heather, and we're going to emboss it with the honeycomb embossing folder. And I know I had it. I know I had it. I did have it. And it's disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. So my honeycomb embossing folder, my embossing plate, and those plates can sit over there. So we're just going to emboss this piece. So with the Hive 3D embossing folder, because obviously we are working with a bee, so you want to have honeycomb. And so you can choose which way. I think I'm going to switch it around this time and go that side. And I definitely need my wings again. I've got all my vellum bits that I'm just popping out. There we go. Oops, there's a heart in there. Alright, so and again I've used the same paper from the, what's it called? Whatever I said it was last time. Same one. And I've got the Designer Series paper. I'm going to just glue that down. And before I glue this one down, I'm actually going to wrap some ribbon around it. Now there's a couple of ways you can do a bow. So you could actually just wrap it around and then stick it on the back, glue it on the back, so then you don't use as much ribbon, and then tie a bow and around the ribbon. But I'm just going to tie all the way around and see how we go. Actually, that's not too bad. That's pretty darn good. Let's get my material scissors out. There we go. Just chop off that bit a bit. So this ribbon is the, what is it called? Gold Shimmer ribbon. This is quite pretty. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. And glue that down. So this piece is, I think it's like around 3 inches, something like that. I can't recall off the top of my head. Actually, I might try and make that a bit smaller, that bow. There we go. So that's the base. Now with the top layer, we need to do some embossing. All right, there's my ruler. Yeah, it's 3 inches by 10.5 centimeters. So we're going to get our Queen stamp out, and we're going to emboss. So your embossing buddy, just so the embossing powder doesn't stick anywhere else except for where you're stamping. And my Versamark. Now, am I fairly straight? I don't know. That's probably a bit better. And then There you go. Not too much mess. You've got the little tray that you can purchase along, and in the with the tray you get the embossing buddy, the tweezers and the brush. And I have my heat gun here, so it's just going to get a tiny bit noisy for a very short amount of time, hopefully. But I might just use my tweezers and just hold it with my tweezers and then just heat it up with my heat tool. Hopefully it's not too noisy for you, and hopefully you might be able to see it change. There we go. Not too long. And so hopefully you can, there you go, you can see the embossed section. And then I've just realised I don't have my piece of paper that I'm going to stamp my queen on. Oh, fiddlesticks. What's that one? Oh, can I get away with using that piece? Maybe. We want to just clean the queen because I use the blue. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' scrub. And just give the queen a bit of a clean as well. Ooh, I think if I do it on an angle, then I can use the... I just realised I've left a punch behind. I did forget something else. I don't know, maybe it is actually... Oh, I know what that's for. Yeah, okay. I've got 2 more cards to do. And I'm just realising I've missed a bit of scrap paper. But I think it's going to be okay. Alright, so this time I want to cut out the queen and the crown. So I put my dies down again. There they are. So I'm going to cut out my queen, cut out the crown. So this is a pretty quick, reasonably quick card. Morning, Michelle. How are you today? Oop. Line up my thing. There we go. Nah, they both moved. I need my little post-it notes, don't I? There you go. All right, let's try this again. Watching while you're working. Excellent. Have you got this set yet? It really is a great bundle. I need that one on there. All right, so then we want to get our dimensionals again. And we want a dimensional on the crown. Oh. I'm just going to put her about there. And the crown above. Well, chat away with me. I'm happy to chat. And another, so I'm doing the same thing for this queen as I did the last one. So putting a mini glue dot in over the heart, so then I can actually put the wings on. And then I'll put another one over the top of that to put the little heart on top. Little gold heart for a bit of bling. So like that. And then dimensionals on the back to pop it up. And bring my card back. And so you've got, so that's that card. So it's pretty simple card. Once you have all the elements, it's pretty quick to assemble, obviously. So there's those two cards. The third one, one's pretty simple too. We've got some Night of Navy, and again the flowers, so Hostess flowers paper, and Erica's card was a lot more subtle than this one. This doesn't feel subtle at all. Sorry, I should show you the card. There you go. So that's the one we're doing now. You can see the hive and everything. So I should have my hives in there. So now these little hives would be really good to, I forgot my card insert, that's all right. It'd be really good to have a I can't think what I'm saying. Oh, the adhesive sheets on the back before you cut out the hives. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain is getting there eventually. All right. So this one, I'm going to do some stamping off, and I'm going to grab my balmy blue. I've got to grab my bee and the textured stamp. And you want to make sure that the words are the right way up. Actually, I might just do... I don't think I need to stamp off. I think that's actually probably enough. There we go. And then I've got my other little texture stamp, and so we'll use that just to do a bit more texture. And then I've got my little bee, and so we want the black memento. I'm just going to stamp two, choose the best one. And you want to grab out some blends. So I've actually just got two blends. I've got balmy blue. Oh, it's not the green one. It's the light daffodil delight is what I want. So just a bit of light daffodil over the body and the face. And then the balmy blue on the flower. And we're just going to die cut the little bee. So look at that little die, isn't that cute? So, oh, gotta make sure you line them up. There we go. Back in a sec. I don't think he moved. I thought he did. No, he didn't move. Yay! And so the outline on this piece of cardstock was actually the Stitched Whimsy, I think it's called. So it's the second largest frame on the Stitched Whimsy. So I've just used that to do the cutout. And then we want dimensionals to pop this one up. Oh, hang on. Which way are we? Yep, that way. The words do actually make words. So I can see life, it's actually the right way up, so that's good. That's what I need. And then we might try and put these honeycombs on. Now I usually use my fine tip glue pen, or not fine tip glue pen, but fine tip glue, I should say. But I didn't bring it over. I forgot to put it in my box for the projects. So I'm actually just going to chuck a bit of glue on and just get rid of the middle bits of it, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. And stick them on a bit like that. I think it's a bit more forgiving than what it could be. Tombow liquid glue is not as easy. It sort of seems to spread a bit more, and so I think that one worked. That worked all right. And then if you just grab some of your glue dots and scatter them around, you can put your little the honeycomb innards on top of them, because they should fit quite well. And you take your pick tool, helps to pick up the little bits. Oh, you're not seeing that as easily, are you? There we go. So I'm just using my little take your pick tool, whatever it's called. It's my pick tool. Right. And so I've still got my little bee. And I have my punched out piece. I can't remember what it's called. Take my pick tool. And I'm just going to use the black. Now where is that? Oh, yep, that works. Okay. Sorry about my head. The thingy. Sorry about my head. There we go. slightly crooked. But it's my card. It's a good little thingy. That take your pick tool. Take my pick tool. No, don't take my pick tool. And do the happy birthday there. And then another little dimensional on our little bee. And he could be hovering over the words. And then if I can find my ribbon that I brought over, which I think is all the way underneath there. There you go. Yes. And then we can all have our own pick tools. So this one is called, where's this? Variegated ribbon. It's variegated ribbon. So ombre ribbon, I think, is another term. And it's the balmy blue ombre ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a bow. And try and get the balmy blue side facing out. Oh, that didn't work. It is really pretty ribbon. Ah, try again. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. The loops are actually working. There we go. And just a glue dot or two. I think I'm going to do 2 glue dots. And I'm just going to stick that down the bottom there. So here you go. That's card number 3. You hadn't seen the ribbon? Oh, yeah, no, it's very pretty. I think it's in the, I thought it was in the annual catalogue actually. I'm pretty sure it was in the annual catalogue. Oh, no, sorry, no, it's in this one. It is in there, there we go. Balmy blue and white. That's the ribbon there. So $15.75 for approximately 9 meters worth. Yep. It is pretty ribbon, yes. All right, so last project from Erica was this one. In a bit of a mess here, aren't I? Yep. So this is the last one from Erica. Shopping time, yes it is. Now, did I bring those extra bits over? I don't know. So this one is a little mini box. So she had like a little hand sanitizer or something in there. So I'm using I'm using this design for my upcoming retreat, but I've had to modify it slightly. So oh, I forgot the twine. Yeah. I'm gonna have to run over and get some twine. Oh dear. All right, let's get this started anyway. All right, so we have a piece of cardstock and it is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then it's actually scored 1 inch, 1 inch. So score at 1 inch, rotate it, score at 1 inch. And then here, this is actually 1 inch and 2 inch. So it's actually pretty easy measurements. Yeah, it's really, it's a bit, it's really simple measurements. So then what we do is we're going to chop here and chop here And I'm just going to miter it slightly. I always seem to cut before I fold. It's just something I do. I don't know why. And then fold all these up. Yes, you're a bit far away to grab my twine for me. It's just on my desk over there. It's just on the other side of the house. I've done that right, haven't I? Yes, I have. Good. Just went, oh no, have I done that wrong? So I'm going to put some glue on there and fold that up and fold that one up. That would be more helpful if mine was 1 meter away. Mine's more like 10. And then we want to put some glue on these flaps as well. And fold them over. And so you've got a little box like that. And then you grab your scissors and you basically trim up to the corner. So you've got a diagonal. So can you see that? And then you do the other side as well. Just like that. So pretty simple. And then we have our little heart. And this one here that we had before. Wonder if I can get enough off there to not contaminate my stamp pad. So just do a bit of texture. And you've got the Designer Series paper. Ah, come on, how'd you get? Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to put that right along the bottom. So it's actually a bit longer than, it's 3 inches. That's 3 inches, so it goes longer, as you can see. I'd love to see where you're working as opposed to your craft desk. Alright, let me see if I can find these flowers. I did have some extra flowers that I cut out. Oh, you know what I did? I was actually prepared. Well, sorry. I was prepared. I don't need to go back over there. See, look, I even tied a bit of ribbon for my last one. I was organised. That's a first. Alright, so then we have I need to stamp. That's what I need to do. So I've got my little flowers that I cut out as well. And so you've got these flowers that are textured. So I pre-cut them. So you can actually see there's actually texture on the dies, and that's transferred obviously to the cardstock. So I've got them. I need my flowers, and I actually don't need the whole lot of this. So I'm just going to stamp as much as I could fit, which is probably a fair bit, but and then I need my green and my Highland Heather, and just colour in the leaves and the flowers. Approximately how much you think you need, and the little buds. I can't remember how much down I need. A bit. Just like that. And then with the green, I've got old olive. I think that's just about it. There we go. And we just want to chop that one out. So I've got my dies for that one. Don't think I need that one at the moment. And then I'll have one more project for you after this one. And that's sort of more in my head than more prepared. So. Alright, so I have my flowers. Oof. So my heart I want to put down on here first, and I think I just need a couple more dimensionals just to hold it straight. So I'll put one there, hopefully one there, and they get covered up. So like that. Oh, I know what I haven't done, and I've just got one more bit of stamping to do, and I didn't bring the colour over, so I'm going to use Night of Navy. I didn't bring over Old Olive. Oh, let's try that again. That's better. Because the Night of Navy can pick up the background. I'm just going to trim that down. Oh, it's a bit crooked. That's quite crooked, isn't it? Let's try and straighten that up. It's a bit better. Alright, so I'm going to put that around there, and then I have my flowers, and I need to just work out where I want to put them. So probably want to put it about there. No, I want them underneath. Probably about that, I'd say. I need more than that one dimensional, that's for sure. Otherwise it's going to keep moving. Okay, let's try that one. That's better. And then on the back, we can just trim that down like that. And we have our flowers. And we had our rhinestones. I'm just going to use the pinky colours. There we go. And last but not least, the twine that I'd already tied a bow. I'm just going to put that there. So that's the fourth project. So quite cute, quite lovely. All right, so last project. Oh, bit of a mess. Let's get rid of some stuff. So my last project, I did what was it? Card swap. And I actually made this card here, and it's called a, what's it called? It's called something. Curtain fold. It's a fancy fold. Fun fold. Curtain fold. And so I wanted to recreate this, but using the queen bee. So what I've done, I've got my measurements here. And so this is a 10.5 centimeters by 14.97 piece of cardstock, and then I've scored it in inches, 7 eighths of an inch, 1 3/4, and then 3 1/8 of an inch, and then rotated and did the same. So 7 eighths of an inch, 1 3/4, and 3 1/8 of an inch. So that's what I've done so far. And you want to concertina the folds. So you want to go one way, go the other, and then go the other. Now, I can't remember whose design this originally was. So I remember seeing it recently, but I can't recall who it was now. So you've got a card base like that. And then on the inside, there's this piece of cardstock, which is so just under 13 centimeters, I think. Oh, it is 13 centimeters by 10.5. And what I've done is I've actually cut out from the center this little bit here. And I used, what's it called? The adhesive sheets on the back. So that way I can actually peel the back off. And I can just stick this straight down. And I want to line it up as flush as possible. And as centered as possible. There we go. And so on the inside, you've got that little bit of die cut, which is nice. Just something a bit special. So on the sides, you sort of want to have something on the sides, but I hadn't worked out what I wanted. So that's where I'm at. I did also emboss a piece of cardstock, which was it 4 inches by 5 inches, I think. So that's 4 by, just shy of 5. So it was, I don't know, 4 and, I don't know, it's 12.5 centimetres. And so I'm just going to glue that one down, I think. Yep. Just going to glue that one down. And hold that one down in place. I haven't got any more vellum wings with me. So what can I do? So I've got my queen bee. So I was going to use Balmy Blue, but maybe I might use Helen Heather instead. And so if I just use the idea from this one, and get my little crown as well. And I might just chop those two out first. I did have my other bee. I didn't throw him out. Did I throw him out? No, I did. I threw him out. So let's colour him in. And we might do Mango Melody. And we'll chop those 3 things out. Where's my bee? Ooh, where'd I put my bee? Oh, there he is. He's in my metal tray. All right. And my bee. But thankfully I did stamp 2. Nope, moved. Moved again. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix it over here. Sorry, everyone. Oh my, keeps moving. These ones just keep moving today. All right. It's as good as it's going to get. Let's see how it went. Not too bad. All right, so there's that bit, and then I want to do some more embossing. I'll do some more embossing on this one, and I'm going to do the happy birthday. Whoop, loud. just clean off my stamps. Oh, I'm going a bit long today. So underneath my mat here, my youngest has put a jigsaw puzzle, and I said to her she needs to clean off my table, my streaming desk, before Friday. So last night she had to clean it off because I needed my desk. And so I can actually feel the jigsaw puzzle pieces right underneath. Alright, let's get these embossed. Now you've also got your paintbrush or your little brush, so you can actually get rid of the extra bits. But I'm going to chop these out, so it's not really matter. It doesn't really matter that I've got some extra powder on around the happy birthday. All right, noisy again. I gotta love embossing. I mean, it's so easy to do, and it's so effective, and it's pretty. It's one of those techniques that, oh, missed a bit, that you learn when you're first doing it, first creating. You learn how to emboss, and it's just a wow. It's always just a wow. So I do love heat embossing, but I just don't do it enough. I think it's the mess of the powder. But the tray makes that makes it a lot easier. Alright, so I'm just going to cut around the happy and birthday. That's how you go into crafting. Year 6 teacher. Wow, that's cool. Oh, really? You still have some of the cards? Wow. Oh, you should try and dig them out. See how much your style has changed. That's what I notice when I see some of my older cards. I look at the style and go, oh my goodness, my style has changed so much. All right, so we have our bee. So I think our bee is going to go about there. My aunt passed away back in 2020, and she didn't have any kids or a husband, and so we it was all left to the family and all the nieces and nephews and what have you. And I just remember the one thing that she'd kept all of our cards, all of different, like lots of invitations for weddings and what have you. And yeah, so I got all that back, and I'd made her a whole heap of birthday cards and stuff to send to people, and she still had a whole lot of them. And so I pulled them out and I went, oh my word, my style has changed so much. It was a bit of a shock, actually. I'm going, oh, I remember doing them, but my style has definitely improved, let me just say. So much better than what it was. That was way before Stampin' Up! Too. Alright, so I have my bee, my little bee. And I think I want to, I think I want to put it there on the outside. And then You know what? I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I think. What was that one from? Was that an extra bit? Oh, no, I don't remember. Why did I cut that one out? Does it have backing paper on it? I think it does. Does it? It does. Why was I cutting that one out? I don't remember. Maybe for this reason. No. That's that one. Oh, I don't know if I need it. Yeah, let's just put it on. Alright, there we go. So there's my cards. Let's pull them all out and show you. I've already got one of them. There we go. So there's all the cards. Let's clear my space. I've got so many things on my desk. All right, there we go. There are all my cards for you. Is that everything? That's everything other way, yes. So this one, yes, this one stands upright, and you can also have a look on the inside. So that's, yeah, so that's the one that I've just made. That's just my idea, but the layout, the fold is not my idea. But then the other four are, as I said earlier, by Erica Cerwin, but she used a different designer series paper that I forget the name of. So that's it. That's all. I hope you like the yeah. I hope you like these cards. And let me just go back to this one. Hi. Yeah. So this one was the Queen Bee stamp set and dies, and I hope you like the cards that I've made. I hope I've inspired you to get creative. Even if you're working, I hope I can inspire you to be creative and yeah, get some stamps out and ink them up and get them get creative and enjoy some fun crafting time. So that's all for now. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and weekend, and I will see you again next time. I do actually have a spare card. I do have a spare one of these, if anyone would like it, and I can pop one in the post for you. So make a comment now if you do. Otherwise, I will, yeah, see you next time. Bye for now.